Hello, mini makers. Today we're going to be making a whalebone gate or arch. It's going to be based off of this whalebone gate that I saw. They're probably going to give it the more rustic look, like more rope and wood instead of steel that we see on the picture here. And then I'll probably add some shark teeth as like a banner, shark tooth banner across the top or something. Okay. Just saving this. Okay, so now we can start by deleting this cube. And then we're gonna add, I guess, a cube. Select all of them. Merge them at center to create one vertice. And then we're going to just collab that in edit mode. Split it up. And then we're gonna go ahead and add skin modifier, the device surface modifier. Then we will also add a mirror modifier. And then we're just gonna add an empty in the middle and then just mirror it across that empty. That. So now everything we do to one side, we do the other. So now I'm gonna just find some type of character that I've made to measure. Okay, so this is a 32mm scale miniature that I've made. Something like that, twice the height. Go in, something like that, and then we'll just make them thicker by just selecting all of them, and then doing Control A to increase the thickness there. And then we will start messing with the general shape of them. First thing we'll do is we'll subdivide surfaces or make a meet in the middle. Something like this. Subdivide again. Then we will move this over as well. Keep messing with it like that. Then we can go ahead and find a shape that we kind of like, something like that maybe. We'll make these thicker down here. Like that. And then we'll make them thinner at the top. Okay. And then we can fix the shape when we turn it, save the skin modifier. Then the other thing we're gonna do is gonna add this jutting piece out like that here. I'm gonna subdivide surfaces. Then we're gonna just do Control A to make that a little bit smaller. Something like that. We're gonna tilt this over. Just a little bit. Doing the same with this one. Okay. Probably just gonna make this even smaller. And we're just gonna use Control A to define the general shape of it. So it looks something like that. I move this over this way. We just move these over. We'll define the shape more after we get it out of sculpt mode. So now we're just going to get rid of the mirror, or apply the mirror, apply the skin, and then we're just going to delete one side and go back into mirroring it. Over the empty. That first. Okay, so now what we'll do is we can go ahead and just change the shape a little bit. It's a little more bended there. Take these and kind of take these, make them a little bit thinner. Something like that. Just gonna move them in slightly. And we're gonna move this over. Okay, perfect. So now we're gonna add an edge loop at the bottom. Something like that. Then we're going to go ahead and make this look a little bit more, this area look better. I'm gonna take this face here. Gonna rotate it up a little bit. Take this, rotate that as well. This down. Take this face as well. Maybe you can dissolve these. Okay. Better. Then we can move these up. The jutting whalebone portion. I kind of move these two down. Something like that. And then we're just gonna scale these in the X. And we'll leave that like that. Okay, so that's looking a little bit more like the whalebone arch. Take this section back here, push it in. This, push it out. And we'll just do that. We'll mess with it in sculpt mode, I think. Like that. Okay. And then we will go ahead after we apply the subdivision, see how it looks right now. Okay, now we can add some light here. Okay, they probably a little closer to yellow. Okay, that's looking good. So we'll do, instead of these metal beams, we'll do float beams. So to do that, we can add a circle. Then we can do the glue modifier in the Y dimension. Add some screws. That. Then we can add a circle curve. And we can then apply the curve modifier here to the screw. Curve, curve, curve. Yep. The circle. Make the circle a little bit bigger. And then we have to make sure that it's in the Y. Yep. Then we just increase the number of iterations. We make this a little bit bigger. And we just use these to wrap around the whale bone arch here. We take the screw, just make it bigger, reduce the number of iterations, increase the screw length, something like that. Okay, now we take both. It looks a little bit more traditional instead of modern with the steel. So now we're just going to copy this, move it up to around here. You want it to be kind of intersecting, because when we make these all meshes, it's gonna have to intersect in order to be 3D printable. Now we can just take these and mirror them after we convert them to meshes. So the other thing we're gonna be missing here is some type of rope that goes across the top. With shark teeth. Like this. Something like that. And to do that, we can just go and do the same rope flick that we did before. But instead, we won't do it around a circled curve. We'll do it around a Bezier curve or Bezier curve. Okay, so add the circle again. Then we can do glue modifier. In the X, increase the glue lightly. Not too much. Okay, anyway, and then we can go ahead and add a Bezier curve. Be kind of big. Then we can apply the curve modifier this in the Y, I believe. And then if we just increase the screw, we get float. Like that. Now we can just move this up to here. And then if we mess with the curve, we can mess with the loop. And then if we just increase the relations, you get something like that. So I'm gonna just make these both slightly bigger. I'll make the lip slightly bigger. And then mess with the curve a little bit more. And we're just gonna do a traditional hanging. Something like that. And then we're just gonna take some of these lobes and then put them here. That. Something like that. I'll need to delete this middle one. Make this one bigger. And just make it a bit smaller. And then I'm probably just gonna do that size for most of the lobes here. So they can have a little bit more heft to the whole. These are gonna be the size lobes I use. Okay, just duplicate this. Like that. There. We'll just give these, leave those white, make this one maybe a brownish color. Something like that. And then we can go in and now we can add some shark teeth. I'm gonna mirror the, I'll just leave it white. Now we can just mirror this cloth, this empty, and do the same thing for this. Mirror it across the empty. And then same for these two. Mirror down here. And same for this one. Okay, so now we can start adding some shark teeth. We want to make everything kind of big, so when we make the miniature, it can show up well. Okay, so I think that I like the general shape of this. I'll just add one more. And then what I'll do is I will maybe get a little bit more of this bone shape that I want in sculpt mode. Go to sculpt mode like this. And then our snake hook tool here, we can use to kind of push this in a little bit more. And turn on symmetry over the across the x-axis. That. Gonna pull this part out more. That. Maybe smooth it slightly using the smooth tool. This. And then maybe change the shape a little bit of this little portion here. So pull it up slightly. That. Push this down. This in. Just a little bit. That. And then go to our inflate tool. Add something there. Then move this part up a little bit more. And then just smooth it a little bit. Something like this. Like that. Okay. So now we can go ahead and we're gonna go ahead and move these down a little bit so that they're easy to plant. It kind of goes more seamlessly into this curved portion. Like that. Okay, that's a little lumpy. Then we're just going to take these, go into edit mode. Then we're going to select in vertex mode by clicking up here or pressing 1. We can go to select random. Move this amount slightly lower, way lower, there-ish maybe. Then we're going to turn on proportional editing. And then we're gonna move them in or out slightly. Oh, you're gonna move them in slightly just to give a lumpy texture. And then I'm using Alt S. That may be too much. I'm gonna change it to smooth. Too much. And I'm using shift to move it slightly less. I don't like how smooth looks, so I mean sphere, maybe inverse square. I'll probably go back to smooth. Click random again. Let's see, we're just gonna keep messing with this until it looks. Okay, that's fine. Okay. So now we can just add some shark teeth. And we'll do that by modeling one shark tooth. So we just get a plane or a cube. Gonna make the shark teeth pretty big. Look up a picture of a shark tooth. Okay. So we can just use Control R to add an edge loop down the middle. These down. These ones up. Then scale them in the left and right. And then we can go ahead and scale them in the left and right, or scale them in the X dimension like that. Then we can maybe move this down a bit. Subdivide surfaces. Then we can add an edge loop here. That kind of looks like a shark tooth. Make it a little bit thinner. Then we can go ahead and pull this. Gonna mirror it across its x-axis. That with the mirrored first. Like that. And then we can take this edge here and then scale it in the Y dimension slightly, because it looks like there's a dissolve these. Then we'll just take both of these here. Scale them slightly. And then we just keep messing with the general shape of it until we get what we want. Okay, that's looking closer to what I'm looking for. And then we'll take these side ones on the edge here. We'll take this face, these faces, and then we'll probably scale them like that. Okay, that's my shark tooth for now. I think what I'll do is I will go ahead and add some little indentations in sculpt mode. Confirm scale. And then plus the X and the Y, I will use my snake hook tool to pull out some little things like that, but they'll look better than that. I'll probably change the fall off to sharp. Like that. And then the bottom one, come out a little bit, make these a little bit more pronounced. Like this. So don't be afraid of using the sculpt tool when you're modeling. You can get some really interesting shapes very easily. So we're just gonna make these a little bit longer like that. Like this. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add the top bone. Well, they don't have bones, I think it's cartilage portion. To do that, I'm just going to add a cube, bring it up, add an edge loop here, move this down, that, get a little bit in the X and the Y. Then I'm just gonna subdivide surfaces. Like that. And then I'm just going to take these edges here. Mirror them across themselves. Mirrored first. And then exclude. Like that, because it looks like they're just slightly bigger in the ends than they are on the not ends. Scale it in like that. And then probably just bring up this middle portion here. Something like that. Make it bigger. Okay. We'll just scale this portion out in the Y a little bit by scale. Then we're just gonna do the same thing we did to the whalebone to give this texture as well. Select random. Okay, then we gotta take these, use shark tooth, and then we're just gonna lay these along a curve. So we can do the lay modifier. Before we do that, I'm gonna union these two together. That's our shark tooth. It's pretty big, so it's good. Then what we'll do is we'll get a curve. There. We'll get our lay modifier. A couple of these. And then we can just do curve. Deform with curve. There we go. Take both of these. It's doing this thing because it's do that. This curve here. Down like that. Just keep messing with the curve. Then we're just gonna turn on the LA a little bit more. I'm just gonna run it through here, like that. Get them in the X dimension. Bit more. Make these dark. Okay. I think that looks good. Instead of some type of interesting terrain, part of a set, maybe have an oceanic adventure, or like a ocean aquatic adventure. Could serve as a gate to a city, or stuff like that. All right, well, that wasn't too bad. I hope you enjoyed what you saw and how to make this. Please leave any questions in the comments, and I